Bunch of babies whining about Emil Bove, all the Democrats, yesterday requested the committee call a whistleblower, Ruvani. He was the poison pill.
What is the thing that you are so afraid of from hearing from my Senate colleagues?
Grassley, shut him up.
Past precedent. Why are you doing
Oh, they're leaving! What a bunch of babies! Democrats stormed out of Congress. Bunch of babies whining about Emil Bove, Trump's nominee, to the Court of Appeals to be a judge. And this was in the Judiciary Committee hearing with Spartacus Cory Booker, who went nuts, screaming at Chuck Grassley. And of course, Cory Booker is sitting right next to sex-free Corono. Don't know if she asked anybody about their sex lives today, but probably. Here's the background on what is exactly going on in this proceeding. Grassley said this, all right, we are now going to abide by precedent. We're going to be voting on Emil Bove's nomination today. He said, look, we've already done this many times before. He said many times during the last administration. At the time, Chairman Durbin said when he was in charge, there cannot be one set of rules for Republicans and another set for Democrats. And so Grassley said, so I agree with that statement. And I'm going to adhere to the Democrats' precedent that came out from Durbin. The committee will vote on the nomination of Bove on Thursday, and so they're going to throw a fit about this. But Bove participated in lengthy nomination hearings, we listened to some of that, on June 25th and provided members of the committee with 165 pages of written response. Now, minority members of the Senate Judiciary Committee, all the Democrats, yesterday requested the committee call a whistleblower, Ruvani. He was the poison pill fired DOJ attorney who completely rigged the Kilmar case. So anyways, they're bringing him back in. He released a bunch of emails. They think it's a big deal. We don't. He says, following a comprehensive review of all the documents, almost none of the documents that you published even cite Mr. Bove, okay? So all of it is just a distraction because they really don't want Emil up there on the Court of Appeals. Most of the communications merely reflect administration attorneys internally debating or discussing litigation and the scope of the court orders. And you're allowed to do that. Debate about the scope of court orders is fundamentally inconsistent with the intention to ignore them. They're talking about them. They would like to avoid them being created and ordered against them. And that happens in every legal conversation. If we file this motion, that forecloses these options. But if we don't, then we have these. But this opens these other options. And so let's go this way so that the judge doesn't do that because we really want to do this. That's what lawyers do. And most of the communications was about that. So now they're saying this is Emil trying to violate an actual written court order. So Grassley says, look, I respect whistleblowers and the whistleblowing process and have taken this matter seriously, okay? And I note that the available documents in the public record are inconsistent with some of the whistleblowers' assertions, which have been reviewed in good faith. Now, the gravamen of the allegation is that Bove directed the DOJ to ignore court orders, but the meeting with Bove occurred before there was any litigation or there was a court order to even follow. And two, Mr. Ruvani himself clarified that he departed the meeting with Bove with the express understanding the DOJ would tell DHS to follow the court orders, in quote. Grassley sent that letter back over to the minority Democrats, and they still flipped out about it. And Todd Blanche was out. He's over at the DOJ. He says, look, I support Emil Bove too. I wrote this because the truth still matters, okay? The Justice Department did not defy a court order. Emil is a brilliant, principled lawyer under attack for honorably doing his job. And remember, Emil represented Trump back during the litigation. The Senate should confirm him without a delay. And Eric Schmidt, also in the Senate, he's a senator. He says, today, we're voting Emil out of committee. Trump nominated him to serve on the Third Circuit to check rogue left-wing activists who pervert our rule of law, reclaiming the judiciary back from the activist Democrats. My op-ed in the DC report is still in support of Bove. Lots of people coming out to support him today. Of course, Democrats are sending an alarm out. They say 900 former bureaucrat Justice Department hacks are saying that this is bad. And we don't care about former Justice Department employees at all. They're former employees and they should have been fired a long time ago. So thanks for that from the Senate. Now, what happened today, of course, was an hour and 15 and the Democrats walked out of here. So we'll just parse through some of this quickly. Here's a little bit of Chuck Grassley in his opening statement.
Who were present for the March 14th meeting described in the whistleblower disclosure. Now we have 4 separate people other than Mr. Bove who were present in the meeting telling us the following. There was never any directive to ignore a court order, and each of them left the meeting with the understanding that the Justice Department would aggressively litigate but would follow court orders.
All right, so exactly right. You defend your position, but when the judge says this is what I've decided, you follow the decision. You advocate, fight. Judge, don't give that order. It's bad to give that order. It's going to be wrong. We'll appeal it. Whoa. The judge issues the order. You're like, okay, well, not a bad call. I understand the order. So, all right, now we'll make a move. And now based on that order, we got to do these other things. But you fight it. That's the whole job. Before you get it, right? And then once it comes down, you got to follow the decision of the court. That's the process of litigation. It's like you play the game. Whatever happens when the clock expires, that's the outcome. So you got to deal with it. And that's all they're talking about now. About 34 minutes, Spartacus Cory, who we know can talk a lot and not say anything, he starts kicking this off. And then we're going to get the big blowout and the walkout. All right, so now we're caught up. Here's what happened.
It's wrong. It is wrong. And why? Why? What is the rush to take another half hour to listen to people? What is the rush? What are we afraid of, Mr. Chairman? What are we afraid of? I do not understand why senators can't debate a nominee as we've done when both sides have been in the majority to take the time. What is the thing that you are so afraid of from hearing from my Senate colleagues? This is a violation of the precedents of this committee. We're not trying some stunt here to try to force a 2-hour rule like you all did when you were in the minority. We just want to be heard before a controversial vote. Sir, this is wrong, and you know it. You are a person of integrity. How could you be doing this? At least have a vote on my point of order. Sir, with all...
Hirono's getting some advice. Should I ask a sex question? Is probably...
Your integrity. With all appeals...
Grassley, shut him up!
Past precedent, why are you doing
they're leaving!
This is outrageous.
This is a kangaroo court. That's all we have here, Mr. Chairman.
What a bunch of babies! Take your balls and leave. Get out, or your lack of balls. Go home.
This is unbelievable. There's a way to do this. If you want to force this through, if you want to ram this through,
Cory, you're leaving.
There's a way to do it.
Stop talking. Everyone left. You're done.
Spelled out by the parliamentarian. It is simple. It is
Cut
clear.
his mic.
There's a pathway to achieve what you're trying to achieve. But, sir, this lacks decency. It lacks decorum. It shows that you do not want to
Cory didn't get the memo. They all left, bro.
This is absolutely wrong. And, sir, this is to me one of those moments where we are not showing common respect for each other on both sides. I have sat here when we were in the majority and listened to my colleagues' arguments.
All right, we can only take so much of Cory. Fast forward.
To see what their arguments out. Some of the least I know you should take is minority.
Look at it.
Was trying to pull some stunt to stop the committee from hearing. This is not that.
He's still talking. Everyone left. He's still talking. He cannot get the hint.
Sir. It is the basic understanding of having debate and deliberation. It's a basic understanding of we can listen to each other.
All right, now they're going to vote on it.
That we should have time and space
got Spittle
and a
coming out
forum
now.
To listen. Sir, this is just wrong in every way. It is wrong.
Okay, then leave.
Pratt to the floor. Now we'll have to vote on these nominees for U.S. Attorney because we don't have enough people on the other side, so we can't do it by voice vote. So the clerk will call the roll on Kurt Alme.
Mr. Grant.
Aye.
Mr. Cornyn.
Aye.
Mr. Lee.
Aye.
Mr. Cruz.
Confused by the sense of quiet. Aye.
Mr. Hawley. Mr. Tillis.
Aye.
Mr. Kennedy.
Aye by proxy.
Mrs. Blackburn. Aye. Mr. Schmidt.
Aye.
Mrs. Britt. Aye. Mrs. Lee. Aye. Mr. Durbin. Mr. Whitehouse. Mrs. Klobuchar. Mr. Coons. Mr. Blumenthal. Ms. Hirono.
Sex freak.
Mr. Booker. Mr. Padilla.
Nope.
Mr.
Padilla.
Mr. Schitt. Chairman Grassley.
Mr. Shit! Look at the caption. No, he's not there. Mr. Shit is not in the room. He's not there. He left with the other Democrats. All right, so you get the gist.
Have it. Nomination will be favorably reported. Now Kurt Wall.
Going through all of them.
Of the minority walking away, or what we did here as a majority. Judge Lee against Republican protests to continue debate in November of 2023. In that markup, Senator Blackburn and others were not offered an opportunity to speak on those nominees, and Chairman Durbin ordered the vote. Just like the obstruction we saw here, I ordered the vote this time. So if you'll spread that word that this is not unprecedented, either the actions of the minority walking away or what we did here as a majority, it's happened before, and we have to move things along. And I thank everybody for participating. Meeting adjourned.
And that's the hearing. So Democrats throw a big wine fest, and they still get it done, going through all the nominees, booting them out of committee onto the full floor of the Senate. So great job, Chuck Grassley. I'm sure Cory Booker is probably still talking. He's probably still like revved up talking somewhere. And they're like, all right, just put him in a corner over here. It's just like, nah, unprecedented. Why can't we have a debate? Why can't we talk about it? Just constantly, just put him in a closet, just close it. All right. And he'll just keep going. He'll spin himself out eventually. But that happened. So Emil Bove and the rest of them moving through. They'll hit the Senate floor, and we'll see if the Democrats continue to cry about it. We know they will.